The metal screamed like a cornered animal, a sound that still echoes in my head. My old tractor, a beast of rust and grit, rolled over the sleek hood of a Bentley, its glossy finish no match for the sheer force of steel. I never imagined I'd be the guy flattening a luxury car owned by some HOA tyrant named Linda. But there it was, crumpling under my wheels, a twisted wreck of chrome and arrogance. This isn't just about smashing an expensive ride, though. It's about what happens when someone tries to choke a rancher's way of life and thinks they can get away with it. Buckle up, because this story's got more twists than a country road. I run an 80-acre ranch on the edge of Redwood County, where gentle hills kiss a golden horizon, dotted with hay bales and rows of crops. Tall fences peeling from years of sun mark my land. There's only one gate wide enough for my heavy equipment, and that's where this whole mess started. I've been up before dawn, planning to haul some critical machinery out for a buyer. Harvest was closing in, and my finances were tighter than a new pair of boots. This deal could fund new irrigation lines, keep the ranch afloat. But when I climbed into my pickup at first light, I saw it, a gleaming Bentley parked at a cocky angle, its bumper kissing my gate. I knew that car. It belonged to Linda, the queen bee of the local homeowners association, a woman who'd been breathing down my neck for months. Linda wasn't just a neighbor with a grudge. She was a force, strutting around like she owned the county, armed with petty fines and a superiority complex. Ever since she figured out my ranch didn't fit her cookie-cutter VY of community standards, she'd been relentless letters about my fences, complaints about my roosters, even gripes about the smell of fertilizer. Redwood County's HOA rules usually stick to suburban cul-de-sacs, but my land, sitting on the western fringe, has always been independent. Linda, though, had big plans. She wanted to stretch her HOA empire, reclassify farmland under her control, maybe flip it for a profit. She'd been harassing me with violations, doubling fines when I ignored her, even hinting I should sell before I lost it all. I tried playing nice phone calls, polite notes, requests to meet her precious board. Nothing worked. The fines piled up, and her messages got nastier. My dad built this ranch decades ago, a veteran who found peace in the soil. He passed 2 summers back, Leah VYing me the fields, the livestock, and a legacy I wasn't about to let Linda trample. His voice still rings in my head. Stand firm, son. That morning, seeing her Bentley blocking my gate, something snapped. I had a buyer coming in hours to inspect equipment, and delays could tank the deal. I paced around her car, trying to figure out a workaround, but the gate was the only way for my bigger tractors. Knocking down a fence wasn't an option too costly, too time-consuming. My watch ticked like a countdown to disaster. I called the sheriff's office, but the dispatcher sounded half asleep, saying they'd send someone eventually. A parked car wasn't exactly a 911 emergency. Then I saw Linda's note taped to my fence. Follow HOA guidelines next time. Sell before it's too late. The nerve. I texted her, move your car now. It's blocking my machinery. Read receipt. No reply. I could picture her smirking over a latte, thinking she had me cornered. I tried calling voicemail. My blood boiled, but I walked the perimeter, hoping for a miracle. Maybe I could rig a new exit. Nope. The ground was too uneven, and I didn't have a crew to spare. Time was slipping away, and my seasonal workers were already pulling up, staring at the Bentley like it was a UFO. One of them, Jake, shook his head. This is nuts, boss. We tried pushing the car, but it was locked tight in gear. Towing it risked a lawsuit, and Linda would love nothing more than to drag me to court. I called the sheriff again, same vague promises. My phone buzzed with a reminder. The buyer was due by noon. I stared at Dad's old tractor by the barn, its rusty frame hiding a beast of an engine. An idea sparked, reckless but clear. I'd give Linda one last chance, then clear the path myself. I texted her again, 15 minutes, or I move it. No response. I left a voicemail, my voice steady but sharp. Linda, it's Tom. How about VY towel work today? Move your Bentley, or I'll do it. You've got 30 minutes. I checked on the livestock to cool off cows needed feeding, horses grooming, goats bouncing around. Jake's truck hummed as he parked, his face falling when he saw the blockade. No other way? He asked. I shook my head. The clock hit 10 a.m., and my crew was itching to prep for the buyer. Then my phone pinged a message from Linda. Comply with HOA or face consequences. No apology, just a threat. That was it. I climbed onto the tractor, its engine roaring to life with a plume of black smoke. My heart pounded as I eased it forward, the massive tires chewing the dirt. The Bentley's chrome gleamed like a trophy, a symbol of Linda's untouchable status. I shouted to my crew. I gave her warnings. Jake looked nervous but nodded. The tractor's front nudged the car's trunk. For a second, it rocked but held firm. Then I gunned the throttle. The rumble shook my bones as the Bentley's rear caved in. Metal screeched, glass shattered, and the hood buckled like tinfoil. Adrenaline surged, my hands gripping the wheel. This wasn't how I wanted to settle things, but Linda had pushed me too far. Suddenly, a scream cut through the chaos. Stop! You're insane! Linda appeared, designer blouse and all, while VYing her phone like a weapon. I idled the tractor, its tires perched on the mangled wreck. She was Lee VYD, calling me a maniac, promising I'd pay for her precious car. I stared down, calm as I could muster. You blocked my gate, Linda. I warned you. This is on you. She kept filming, ranting about lawsuits and jail time, but her car was toast rear smashed, trunk crumpled. My crew stood frozen, one of them recording the whole thing. I inched the tractor forward, letting the tires drop off the wreck with a final groan of metal. Linda shrieked again, her face pale as she circled the ruins of her pride and joy. She dialed 911, screeching about my assault on her Bentley. I stayed cool, showing Jake's VY Deo to my crew every warning, every ignored text. When the sheriff arrived, Sergeant Daniels took charge, separating us for statements. I laid it out. Linda's blockade, my deadlines, her threats. I showed him the texts, the note, and Jake's footage. Linda waved her phone, claiming her clip proved I was malicious. Daniels watched both VY Deos, then asked her, "Ma'am, got proof you had permission to park here?" She stammered about HOA rules, but a quick check of county records confirmed my gate was private property. Her face turned red as she demanded my arrest. Daniels stayed neutral. "This looks like a CIVYL matter, ma'am." He gave warnings. The buyer rolled up amid the chaos, eyeing the wrecked Bentley with a raised brow. I explained it was an unauthorized blockade, and he shrugged, ready to inspect the equipment. While Linda fumed, I walked him through the tractors, their engines purring despite their age. He was impressed, and we struck a deal, shaking hands as Linda hissed to the cops. The officers wrapped up, saying Linda could sue, and I could counter for trespassing. No arrests, just a report. Linda stormed off to call her lawyers, and my crew and I collapsed under an oak, laughing at the absurdity. A Bentley, flattened by a tractor. Who'd believe it? Word spread fast. Neighbors whispered about Linda's bullying, some thanking me for standing up. Others warned she'd retaliate, but I felt solid. My lawyer, a calm guy named Ed, said I had a strong case. Linda's blockade was deliberate, and I had proof. Sure enough, she sued for the car and damages. I hit back with a trespassing claim, detailing her harassment. The community started pushing against the HOA's overreach, and local press got wind. I kept it simple. She blocked my livelihood. I acted. After weeks of legal back and forth, Linda caved. Facing scrutiny and mounting fees, she dropped her suit, and I let the trespassing charge go. Her icy glare at the settlement said all her ego was bruised, but her power was cracked. The ranch hummed again. The buyer's cash fixed our irrigation, and crops thrived. Rumors swirled that the HOA board questioned Linda's reign, but I didn't care. I walked the fence line one evening, the sky glowing pink, passing where her Bentley once stood. Flattening, it wasn't pretty, but it woke her up. Dad always said, fight hard, fight smart. I tried every peaceful route, but Linda only understood force. Now, when folks ask how to handle HOA bullies, I say, be polite, but don't bend. If they push back. Some raise eyebrows, wanting a softer answer, but out here, you defend your own. The tire marks from that day are gone, covered by fresh gravel, but the story lingers. Neighbors still point at my gate, whispering about the rancher who took on a Bentley. I don't love the destruction, but I cherish the principle. As I sip coffee on the porch, Dad's old tractor sits proud, a dented reminder of resilience. Linda learned the hard way. You don't mess with a man's land. The stars gleam over my fields, and I know I did what I had to. If that makes me the guy who flattened an HOA Queen's car, so be it. What do you think? Was I right to crush Linda's Bentley? Or should I have waited for the law? Could I have found another way? Or was this the only path to protect my ranch? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're Team Tractor, and subscribe for more stories where bullies get what's coming. Let's hear it. What would you have done?